گڈ بائی مسٹر چپس بائی جیمز ہلٹن. یہ سیکنڈ ایئر کی بک ہے. آپ لوگوں کو پتہ ہوگا ان اسٹوڈنٹس کو جنہوں نے مسٹر چپس پڑھا ہے اس کی کہانی. میرے خیال سے تو یہ بہت ہی بور چیپٹر ہے اور بہت بور بک ہے. تو اب خیر میرے خیال سے یہ ختم ہو گئی ہے کورس میں، تو آج اس کا ریویو کرتے ہیں کہ اس میں کیا کیا ہے. یہ ہے گڈ بائی مسٹر چپس بائی جیمز ہلٹن. اور اس کی کہانی کا پتہ ہے آپ کو. مسٹر چپس کو ایک لڑکے سے محبت ہو جاتی ہے، اور ایک مسٹر چپس بہت ہی زیادہ عمر کے ہوتے ہیں، اور جب ان کو مطلب پیار ہو جاتا ہے تو ان کی طبیعت خراب ہو جاتی ہے اور ان کی ڈیتھ کے قریب پہنچ جاتے ہیں. مسٹر چپس کے چیپٹرز تو بہت سارے ہیں، تو اب سٹارٹ کرتے ہیں چیپٹر 1 سے. When you are getting one on in years, but not ill of course, you get very sleepy at times and the hours seem to pass like lazy cattle moving across a landscape. It was like that for Mr. Chips as the autumn term progressed and the days shortened till it was actually dark enough to light the gas before call over for Mr. Chips, like some old sea captain, till measured time by the signals of the past, and well he might, for he lived at Mrs. Wicket just across the road from the school. He had been there more than a decade, even ever since he finally gave up his mastership, and it was Brookfield for far more than Greenwich time, that both he and his landlady kept Mrs. Wicket Chips would sign out in the jerky, high-pitched voice that had still a good deal of sprite lines in it. You might bring me a cup of tea before prep, you will. When you are getting one in years, it is nice to sit by fire and drink a cup of tea and listen to the school bell surrounding dinner call over prep and lights out. Chips always wound up the clock after the last bell, then he put یہ آپ کو سمجھ تو آ رہی ہوگی. Then he put to bed. Rarely did he read more than a page of it before sleep come swiftly and peacefully, more like a mystic intensifying of perception than any changeful entrance into another world, for these days and nights were equally full of dreaming. He was getting on in years, but not ill of course. Intended Dr. Merivale said there was really nothing the matter with them. My dear fellows, you are fitter than I am, Merivale would say, sipping a glass of sherry when he could every fortnight or so. You are past the age when people get these horrible diseases. You are one of few lucky ones who were going to die a rare natural death. That is, of course, if you die at all. You are such a remarkable old boy that one never knows. But when Chips had a cold or when east winds roared over the funlands, Merivale would sometimes take Mrs. Wicket aside in the lobby and whisper, "Look after him, you know, his chest. It's put a strain on his heart. Nothing really wrong with him. Only Anno Domini, but that is the most fatal compliment of all in the end." Anno Domini, by Jove, yes, born in 1848 and taken the Great Exhibition as a toddling child. Not many people still alive could boast a thing like that. Besides, Chips was even remember Brookfield in Worthy by time, a phenomenon that was whereby he had been an old man in those days, 1870. Brookfield, after a year at Mulberry, which he hadn't liked because he had begun raged there a good deal. But Brookfield he had liked almost from the beginning. He remembered that the day of his parliamentary interview, sunny July, with the air full of flowers, scents, and the plick plock of cricket on a pitch.